What's the scariest space fact / mystery in your opinion? A few people have said this, but just the size of space is creepy to me. That far away. But what almost depresses me more that unlike in Stargate I will never be able to travel to any of it. Would love to see what's out there. Not scary exactly, more unfortunate, if anything, but we'll probably never be able to properly communicate with alien species. Given the amount of distance between the planets of our solar system, I'd assume the distance to other universes and galaxies is too far to think about right now. If we receive and send a message right now, by the time we hear a reply back, we would probably be a completely different government and societal system. We would just be constantly introducing ourselves. Here's one closer to home. The Kessler effect is the theory that a single destructive event in low Earth orbit could create a cascade where satellites break up into tiny fragments, taking out other satellites, breaking up into smaller fragments and so on, until the Earth is completely surrounded by a massive cloud of tiny flying death shrapnel, which would make leaving this planet almost impossible. If you look up how much space debris there is already up there, and how many satellites currently orbit, plus the continued growth of the commercial space industry, I think about it a lot. This visual, that either shows how slow light speed is, or how vast space is, depending on which way you look at it. I've seen videos showing the scale of the universe before, but this one really hit home for some reason. The speed of light, the fastest speed possible, looks painfully slow when you look at it in the context of even a fraction of our solar system. We are stuck here, aren't we? Edit. This genuinely seems to trigger some people, so here's a warning. May cause existential dread. Moons haunted. Mobile. Black holes. Ever gone on a road trip and hit a patch where you're just driving for hours and you don't see anything exciting? I've experienced this in Australia, Canada, and USA, all very large countries. Imagine doing that for years traveling to another planet. Vacuum decay is one of the scariest concepts to me. We don't know if it exists, and we won't know until it's too late. The Great Attractor. A thing that affects the motion of galaxies for hundreds of millions of light years. On the surface of Mars right now is a blur CD. God help us if aliens find that first. Voyager 1 will outlive planet Earth. Edit. Wow. Didn't expect this post would generate so much interest. Couple of clarifications. First, I was referring to Voyager 1 not 2, so fixed that. Which is not to say that Voyager 2 also won't also outlive planet Earth. Second, my source mentions that it is plausible to imagine that Voyager 1 will outlive our planet given how incomprehensibly vast space really is. You can watch the interesting and rather fun video here. Gamma ray bursts. We could be hit by one of these with very little warning, and if it was reasonably close, in universal terms anyway, could wipe us out rapidly or cause a ton of damage. Dark matter / dark energy. The fact that about 95% of the universe is made up of matter we can't see or detect is pretty unsettling to think about. Also, while not a fact per se, I like to think that perhaps the answer to the Fermi paradox is that there are billions of advanced alien life forms out there, but they are physically unable to reach us due to technological limitations. Perhaps interstellar transport is only theoretical, and any aliens capable of reaching us are unable to do so in an acceptable length of time. Proxima Centauri may take 25 years for unmanned spacecraft to reach us going 20% the speed of light, but perhaps it's impossible to transport actual life at these speeds without dying, so advanced civilizations have realized the futility of trying to contact other species, and have simply given up. Rogue planets, planets that do not follow any given orbit. They may have been in an orbit at one time, but now they refuse to play by the rules. They were most likely knocked out of their orbit by another body, and now they are set on doing the same. I can't accept the fact that there is no end in space, but if there is indeed an end, then what's beyond it? I'm stuck in absurdity. Edit. In the numerous answers I've received, the one that seems to come back the most is the universe is curved. You would end up back where you started. Seems fair enough. Then again, that wouldn't mean there is no limit. On the contrary, that would just mean we are trapped in, or on the surface of, a sphere, but there is still a limit to this sphere. So the question remains, what's beyond it? The Boots Void. An area of space where there should be 50,000 or so galaxies, compared to other areas of the same size, but there's only about 60. Could just be empty space for some unknown reason, or it could be an ever-expanding intergalactic empire using Dyson spheres. Also, I think it appears to be growing, but that could just be galaxies moving away from the void. Edit. So it turns out it's 2000 and obviously it's not gonna be aliens, but the theory is still cool AF. The sheer distance between things. It's scary and somewhat depressing. I think everything is terrifying about space, and I fucking love it. But one thing it scare me a lot, it's if space is infinite. Imagine what kind of gigantic monster can be in there. Since the universe is expanding, and stars and galaxies are moving away from each other, it's possible that civilizations that spring up in the far future with lonely stars will see an empty sky. Their civilizations will grow and learn, but they will never know the universe that once was. We live in a spectacular time period, where we can actually look back in time, and see the early universe. Future civilizations won't have that luxury. They'll believe that the universe is, and always was, dark, dead, and empty, aside from their small island of light. There is literally no end to the universe. No matter how long we study it, there will always be stuff that we will never know, just because of the vastness of space. The fact that a city-killing asteroid can slip through our detection systems and kill millions at any moment. The time/gravity relationship, it freaks me out. What was before the Big Bang? I think it is just impossible for a human to comprehend pure nothing or infinity. I myself had a stroke at age 9 due to a ruptured vertebral artery and lost a third of my visual field. I can confirm that it is not black. A good analogy is it is like what you see behind your head. On the other hand, infinity is so large that, if you spent your whole life writing a 1 then zeros on paper, that insane number would still be 0% of infinity. I just think there is no way to fully understand the universe and there never will be. This is why even ancient societies explain things with gods, because they didn't understand how the reality we live in started, and I don't think we ever will. The Great Attractor is kinda ominous. There's an exoplanet with wind that's many times the speed of sound, and that rains glass. Another exoplanet that has spent time inside its star. There's a sort of fear that we aren't alone in the universe. Chances are anything we meet won't have remotely similar emotional spectrums that we have. Then there's the horrifying notion that we are alone in that infinite blackness. That we are just a fluke of chemistry that will probably never happen again. Edit. More people have died on Earth than have died on the sun. Spook. The fact that an asteroid could come at any time, and even though we have the technology to tell us that an asteroid is about to impact Earth, what can we really do about it? Nothing. We can do nothing. We can just sit here, with the media stations telling us what will happen, telling our friends and loved ones goodbye, praying, etc. It sucks. Why do we have the technology that tells us our inevitable doom is days, or even moments, away but no technology to possibly stop it? Edit. Words. There could be life, but not in the way we think. Like a virus that our immune system simply can't take, and we can't cure, or make a vaccine for. This was actually thought of before. When the crew from Apollo 11 came back from the moon, they were quarantined for 3 weeks just in case they did have some kind of space virus. It's bigger than anyone could ever hope to comprehend. Heat death. That one keeps me up at night. There is a section of ocean where the closest help at any time is 250 ice miles straight up on the ice. Edit 2. Okay, so apparently these maps turned out to be inaccurate, but still kinda cool to know anyway. Besides, at least if we do destroy ourselves one day, at least there will be some small memory of us out there for someone to find. We have sent out maps of how to find the Earth, based on maps that show where our sun is, relative to pulsars. If anyone finds our probes, it's likely they will be able to find us. I don't think it's scary that alien race will find these and come to destroy us. I think any species with the technology to seek us out would be completely unthreatened by what we have. What I fear is they gift us technology and we use it to destroy ourselves. Edit. If anyone's curious, the Pulsar map was first sent out in 1972 on the Pioneer 10 space probe. It has been sent out a further 3 times. The third and fourth times were on the Voyager space probes as part of the Voyager Golden Record. This included lots of images and audio of the human race. Carl Sagan wanted to put a Beatles song on it, but hilariously EMI declined on copyright grounds. That the Milky Way galaxy has an estimated 10 million black holes. The coldest place in the universe is not the Boomerang Nebula, or even in space. No, it's the inside of a D-wave quantum computer, at 15 MK. That we might actually be alone in the universe. Or that they are made of meat. Short story,